It's Maddie Hendricks. I'm a classically trained coloratura soprano, and today I just wanted to come on and share a very random video, a very fun story though, so I hope you guys enjoy. A couple nights ago, I had a very strange and random dream. I had just been cast as Juliet in Gounod's Romeo et Juliet, or Romeo and Juliet. Oh my gosh, I started to wonder, like, why did I dream this? What's going on in my mind? But I was thinking about it and just going back to it. This opera by Gounod, one of the great 19th century French composers of romantic opera. This opera, Romeo et Juliet, is one of my absolute favorite operas, so I guess that's the start of it, is that it's one of my favorite operas and I listen to it very often. Juliet is a dream role of mine. I don't know if I'll do it anytime soon though, because my voice is quite light. But I do sing Juliet's first aria that she sings in the opera, Je veux vivre, pretty regularly, and I'm preparing it for a concert in a couple days at the time of this recording that I'll be doing, and so I guess that's maybe why. It's been in my mind for a while, so it was one of those arias where I put away for a while and just took it back out, so yeah, maybe that's why. Also, the Atlanta Shakespeare Tavern, I'm a local soprano in the Atlanta area. The Atlanta Shakespeare Tavern is doing Romeo and Juliet, the play this month at the Atlanta Shakespeare Tavern, so I thought maybe that's why too. I've been thinking about it a lot. So, anyways, it was this very vivid dream, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so interesting. And it had me kind of shook and very excited. When I woke up, I was like, oh my gosh. But I was very shocked because at its core, Juliet, or the role of Juliet in this opera, is quite a big role, meaning, yes, she's a principal character in the story, and she has a lot of music, but specifically the voice type of this role is bigger than, say, my voice is right now. Casting an opera has a lot to do with voice type, and what role you get cast in has a lot to do with what kind of voice you are, and the kind of voice, among other things, the kind of voice that you are and fit into for a specific role. Specific roles are meant for specific voices, among other things, but there are lighter voices in opera, and then there are fuller voices and heavier voices that have put out more sound. So bigger size voices can fill a room and a little bit more than a smaller, lighter voice would, and can also sing over a heavier orchestra accompaniment. And right now, currently, I am a very light voice, a very light lyric coloratura. You might say soubrette. So my voice is very suited to a lot of earlier music than Gounod, say Handel and Mozart. Those composers wrote for a different kind of style than French romantic grand opera. So the style of opera that Gounod wrote in was very big and grand, and so Juliet, long story short, actually starts out in this higher, kind of lighter voice range of the voice, and she's got this beautiful first aria that she sings. But as her character develops, and as the so does the music. So she goes from a waltz sort of aria in Act 1 that's in the style of a waltz to a very dramatic aria in Act 4, and her voice, the tessitura of it overall, gets a little bit lower as the opera goes on, as her character develops. So it's kind of wild and amazing. So just a little educational bit for those that don't know sort of how opera works in this cast. But a fun fact is I have done a lot of research on this opera, and I found out that the first Juliet, I believe her name was Marie Carvalho, she was also a very light voice. So they actually cut out the dramatic Act 4 aria for her, the potion aria for Marie, the original singer of the role, because she was a lighter voice. So anyway, just giving some context for this, but this was a very vivid, very interesting dream for me, because most people outside of my dream world would have been saying, "Oh, that's so interesting." I guess I couldn't see Juliet being too far away, but maybe not right now as a role for you, Maddie. So yeah, anyways, I remember in my dream being really honored and kind of shocked, like, oh my gosh, what am I doing here? This is so cool. And I remember they had just, wherever I was, whatever company I was at, had just announced the cast, and we were just starting to run through some of the music in rehearsals. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was so shocked. And so then I remember the company was so supportive of me, and so supportive, and believed that I could sing this role, the role of Juliet. And I was like, oh my gosh, wow, okay. So I remember very specifically, for those that don't know, I am a blind singer, so I read my music in Braille. And I remember I did not have a Braille score of Gounod's opera, specifically Juliet's part. So I was like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna follow along with the sighted cast members? And this, in my non-dream world, is always something that I'm very worried about. In my real opera career world, is always something I'm worried about. But in my dream, they were like, the music director or the conductor, I can't remember, I don't know who it actually was, but they were like, oh, don't worry about that, Maddie, it's totally fine, we'll get it for you, we'll get the score in Braille for you, it'll be fine, and we can start with what you know. And so I was like, oh, okay, well, I know Je veux vivre. So we skipped the first part where Juliet actually enters in the opera, and we went straight into the Je veux vivre, the aria. And side note, I was just looking about this because I was very interested to know about how easy it would be to find, say, the Shakespeare play script in Braille. And that was actually very easy to find. Just a quick Google search when I woke up the morning after I had the dream. I was like, how would this work? So just a quick Google search led me to realize that the Shakespeare script is available in Braille for $27. So not too bad. The libretto of the opera, the text of the opera, is also easy to find. That's on Bard, the Braille audio reading download site. However, when we get into music notation and getting the score in Braille, that's where it got tricky. I could not find it anywhere. I think there are a couple of arias. I think Juliet's, both of her arias are available in Braille already. But to get the role in Braille, I would have to get Juliet's part transcribed into Braille, and that would cost some money. It would be $8 a Braille page. So, don't want to know how much that would be. But y'all should know, this was such a crazy dream, and I just wanted to share this very random thing. So any interpreters out there, I don't know, what was I thinking about? Okay, this has been such a random video, but maybe I don't know, I was thinking maybe just ready for something big. I've not gotten to do a big main stage role yet, and I feel like maybe my dream is I'm thinking about that I want to be given a chance. I'm ready for it. I'm ready, emotionally ready for it. I'm so ready for it to sing a lead. But I'm just still working. I'm working on my craft and working on my acting and working on my technique, and so maybe it'll come. It'll come, and maybe the role of Juliet will be something that I'll be able to do one day. So, very random story time, everybody, and hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and yeah, thanks for watching.